So recently we kind of redid all our main story variables landing page, and we have kind of a more user-friendly features for you. I want to show you that. So the first thing is that we kind of identify a set of key variables per topic. Members of the team selected different variables that we think that they are key, and then we ran these variables to experts on the field. So if you are new, or even if not, if you want to start looking into a specific topic, then this is the specific variables of variables on a specific topic. You can start here because you will see the key variables that we thought they are important to start doing your research on these specific topics. So as you can see, we have all the topics that we already saw before: family and household, health and well-being, housing, money and finance. And you have the numbers kind of there about the key variables that we have. So if you kind of an explanation here about what is a key variable, you still have the main box to search. At the bottom you have index terms, and I will talk about this a little bit later. But let's click health and well-being, for example. If you click health and well-being, you will find that you will see here how the variables are filtered. So they are filtered by key variable and also by the index term health and well-being. And you can see here the filter. You can click filter here, and then you can narrow even more your search. On the left, you have variable type, data file, weights, and different index terms. You can click to see more information or less. This is something new, the multi-choice questions. And so you click multi-choice, and then you click done. You will see less numbers, 28, only 28. So let's click this one, HCON, diagnose health conditions. So you will see here information about this specific variable, right? So this variable is HCON, which is diagnosed health condition. It comes in the data file INVESP, and it's part of this index term. These are the index terms that are tagged to this variable. But then you will see kind of a box with the individual variables or the associated variables to HCON. And then you will see that you will see HCON 1, up to HCON 29, and then HCON 96. And then you see the label. For example, HCON 1 is diagnosed health condition, asthma, and so on. So if you scroll a little bit down, you will see here a box related with the question asked. So the first is this gives you the module. So this question comes from the health condition all module, and you can see here the question. So the question is, has a doctor or other health professional ever told you that you have any of these conditions? Please just tell me number that apply. If the mode, so this question is asked by an interviewer, or if you are doing it online, please just select the answer to apply. So if you click here, you will see all the options. So instead of having just one variable, as with all these options as a response, as a valid response options, we transform each response into an individual variable or associated variable. You have the variables here. So in this case, we remade the way the information is displayed. Let's go back. So first, you will see the variables that are, or the root variables of the main question first, and then you will, once you click there, you will see the associated variables. And if you click one of those, you will see the specific information about H1, in this case is asthma, and you have the same information as before. You have the box related with the question, and then the response options to see the frequencies. In this case, it will be a response option or 1, 0. Yes, you have the condition. No, 0, you don't have the condition. And I will talk about the other response options. And you will see that this variable is, you can find this variable in all the ways from wave 1 to wave 15. Right? Let's go back. Just click here, variables again, and you will return to the landing page. So imagine let's suppose we want to find a relationship between employment or unemployment and well-being, right? So there are mainly two different ways to measure well-being. The first would be the cognitive well-being, which usually refers to how people evaluate their lives overall. And then you have the affective well-being, which refers to the frequency which people experience positive or negative events in their lives. We are doing this example using the cognitive well-being. So let's see if the study has information about satisfaction, right? So what should we do? So we have the index terms that I already mentioned. So you click here in the top index terms, so you can scroll down to see the index terms also displayed here. So let's click here, index terms. So the index terms are thematic areas in the study. This is a new index terms, kind of as before we used to have them. Now the index terms are related to the topic. So, and we construct index terms in a hierarchical way, as you can see here. So if you click health and well-being, you will see that the first level, like the top level, will be the topic, in this case, health and well-being. And then the second level will be a bunch of different index terms. Even we have a third level, and then for some of them, a fourth level, or even a fifth level. So if you're interested in doing your research related with the health and well-being topic, and then you can, go through all of these, seeing what information we have about lifestyles and health, about nutrition, or substance use, about health behaviors, smoking, and so on and so forth. So, and you can click to close these kinds of, right? So for our specific examples, so we are trying to find the relationship between employment and well-being, and particularly about cognitive well-being, so about life satisfaction. So we kind of click here and then see if we have something related with life satisfaction. We have well-being, so that's good. So we click well-being, and then we have life satisfaction. So you can click here, life satisfaction, and you will see that we have you have 13 variables related with life satisfaction. You can see the variable first, then the label of the variable, the data file where the variable can be found, and the weights. Remember, in Alita's lecture, she mentioned that the ones the weights that started with BH are the ones related with the British Household Panel Survey, and the ones that only have a number are the weights related with Understanding Society. You can see here that there is a sort kind of way of sorting the information. So you can sort by more relevant, by ascending or descending order. And then Let's go to the ones that are related with understanding society, and you can see that we have information about satisfaction with health, with income, with house flat, um, with leisure time, and with life overall. So this sounds like a good one. That's that satisfaction with life overall. But also you can see that we have here satisfaction also with life overall. It's kind of a different name, but this is only available for British Household Panel, and this is only available for Understanding Society. And we are going to see other differences later on. So if you click here, you can see that this variable is part of the main stage variable. You can see the name, the label, in what data file you can find it, and the index term that is tagged to this variable. So in a top level will be the topic, will be the health and well-being, and then in a second level will be well-being, and in a third level will be life satisfaction. You have the information about the question. Remember that the first link or the first name that you see in this box will be the module. In this case, will be self-completion satisfaction. And you can see here the question label and the specific question. And then you can see the question universe. This is very important because this is the people that this question is asked. So in this case, is only asked for if the mode of interview is face-to-face, and there is no translator needed, or if the mode is telephone or web. So if it's not one of these, so the question is not asked, you can click here and see the same, the information about this specific variable. But if you scroll a little bit to the top of the page, you will see the name of the module. So in this case, self-completion satisfaction module that has 5 questions. The one related with household, the one related with health, the one related with income, the one related with amount of leisure, and life overall, right? This is the one that we are interested. So let's go back. And then let's see the response options. So for wave 15, well, you can see that if you click in the specific wave, you will see the information for that wave in specific. So let's see, wave 15, you will see that we have, so the positive or the value response options, the ones that are positive, goes from, we have 7, goes from 1 to 7 as to completely satisfied to completely satisfied. And all of them have a related label, right? The label that comes from being completely satisfied to be completely satisfied. Now it's the right moment to see the other variables. Remember that we have other variables related also with life overall, but only for the British Household Panel. So if we go back, you will see that we have this one, right? If you click here, so it's kind of the same, life overall satisfaction. But then let's see the valid options, response options. They also, this variable also has from 1 to 7, but not all the response options have a valid label. And that's very important because one of the conditions to do harmonization was that the question needs to be the same, but also the response option needs to be the same. And in this case, they are not the same. That doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself if you are interested in, do a longitudinal study using also British Household Panel and understand both studies. Then you can kind of construct an additional variable where you can harmonize both of them but we didn't do that because it wasn't part of the condition to do the harmonization. So this is one of the main difference between both. So let's go back and then click again to the one that we were looking on understanding society. Now, what about the negative numbers? In understanding society, all the negative numbers are kind of included as if they were missing values, or that's how we refer to them. And you can see the meaning of those negative numbers if you scroll a little bit to the top, and then you go to documentation here, and then on the left, main survey, and then on the left side of the website, user guide, and then you will see the user guide. So you click user guide, the first one, main survey user guide, and then you have the different sections of our user guide. So the third one would be data, and then you can see here the missing values, right? If you click here, missing values, you will see the description of these missing values, all the negative values. And I just want to point two of them. So the first one will be numbers -7. So -7 is the response proxies. So remember, a proxy is when the respondent can't, in that moment, can respond to the questionnaire. So kind of this person assign a proxy or delegates a proxy to respond from himself about himself. But it's the proxy. So people that are assigned as proxies only respond factual information. They don't respond, in this case, subjective information, as, for example, the life satisfaction. So in this case, that's why all the people that kind of designate a proxy respondent, they got -7 as a response option. And the other one that I want to highlight is -8, which are the valid skips. The people that are not eligible for responding this question in particular. So it's very important that you always check about the eligibility of the questionnaire. But there are others, as you can see, and you can go through them on your time. So let's go back. So that you go. Okay, let's go back as this, just going back. I don't know if that's fine. Okay, yeah. Next will be the sample size. So if you see, so for weight 15, you can see the sample size here. So just if you add, the percentages of the negative values, maybe 3%, 4% maximum. So you have a good sample size. That's okay. That's perfect. And you can go through, the information for the rest of the waves if you want to see it. The next thing to do is to click here to save the variable. So you are saving the variable to the code creator. And here you can see the variables that you've been that you are saving. The first one will be satisfaction with life overall. We are going to go into the code creator later on in this session. The next one will be, we already have information about satisfaction or well-being. Now, the next one will be information about deployment, about our explanatory variable. So let's go back to the main landing page. And now we can use the key variables for employment, right? So we are looking into employment. Usually, there are three classifications of a labor market, employed, unemployed, and out of labor market, right? So if we click employment here, we see that we have 200 variables. So let's see, we can narrow our search using the filters. So we click filters, and then here see that we have the index terms, we can click here and to see kind of drilling into the employment index terms. And then we have employment status, right? That kind of seems like it's something that we might, the variable that we're looking for might be there. So we can click employment status. And then we can, if we kind of scroll down, we can see that we have this variable that is called JB_stat, which is the current labor force status, all right? That it can be found in the index file, and it's this variable, for example, is harmonized. You can find it from BHPS1 to 18, so all the bridge housing panel survey weights, but also on all the understanding society weights. So we can click here, and we have kind of the same information. We have this variable is part of the main stage variable. You have the label, you have the data file, the index term that is tagged to this variable, information about the question. So this variable comes from the demographics module. And the question, the exact question is, which of the best describes your current employment situation, or the, of the response options. And we have all these response options. And we usually usually classify as employment, self-employment. We classify as employment, paid employment. And this will depend on your specific, research, but also you can include on maternity leave, and you can include on shared parental leave and on adoption leave. Or you might say only people that are classified or self-classified as self-employed and paid employment are the ones that are I'm going to use assign as employed responses. So the unemployed, right, is only unemployed, option 3, and the rest could be all assigned to out of the labor force if you want. You have here as well information for the rest of them, and then you can also save that. So now you have information about satisfaction, about well-being, and you have information about employment. There are other ways to measure employment, right? This is something important because this measures about, this is a description about the current employment situation, but there are others, like, for example, JB_has. So, for example, JB_has is did paid work last week. So it's a question about the week before the interview is done. So people might be, respondents may report that the main activity status is retired, for example, because they are retired. But then when they answer that specific question about what they did the week before, if they did something that was paid for, they might say yes. So that might create a little bit of issues because you might want to compare both and they are not the same. It's very important to see that they come from a different module, and also that the universe might be different on both of them. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. So next will be the control variables, right? Covariates. You already have the dependent variable and then the independent variable, or the main variable that you want to use to explain well-being. But also you need a bunch of variables that are control variables that you can use as covariates. So kind of the best way to do that is that in our user guide, we also we set a specific bunch of key variables that are across different domains of the study. So if we go to the documentation, and then again documentation on the top, then on the left main survey. Remember the third one, user guides, then main user guide, and then we go to data. Oh, sorry, let me go back. Data. Then you will have here the key variables. If you click here, these are a bunch of variables related to different domains. So for example, the first one would be variables related with identifiers, then variables related with sampling or interview variables. And then you will see residence variables, socioeconomic and demographic characteristics, health and well-being, individual and family backgrounds, household level characteristics. So you can choose from here. This is kind of a first approach to control variables. Let's say if you click, let's say you want to include the the country where they live. So if you click in the country, you will see information about the country, and then you can save that, right? And then I think if you go back, yeah, and so you will, and then probably another control variable would be age, right? So you also have information about age, and then you click here, as you save that variable, and then you go back, and then you want as a control variable sex, and then you click here, and then you go back. You will want also ethnicity. You will see here that you have two different variables measuring ethnicity. It's important to say that the source of the information might be different. That's why we have two different variables. As you can see here, this one at ETHN_DB, it says that it comes from multiple sources, and this one racial_DB is self-reported. So we kind of let you know that we have two, and it's kind of up to you to see which one is more aligned, let's say, to your research. So if you click, for example, ethnicity, then you click save, and you will see. So this is a good one to say that. As Alicia already mentioned, so the ones that we have _db at the end of the variable are derived variables. So these variables are the ones that we create after the information is gathered from the fieldwork agency. Some of them might be created there, and others are created, on once we receive the information. And for some of them, or even for most of them, there is additional information in our website. So in this case, derived variable note, which is you will see here that is kind of an explanation about this variable, and then you will see what are the variables that this specific derived variable uses in order to be created. And then also, I think in this case, I think you have the code. Maybe, yeah, for some of them, even you have here the code that is used to create the derived variable, and I will show you where you can find also the code. And then you can go back. You have marital status. This is the same. You have two variables. Remember, probably the source is different, so we are going to use this one. So you can click here, save, and you can choose more of them. You can see that the one that we already identified before as the current labor source is also here. But I mean, it's another way of reaching the same variable. Now, the next The next important variable is income, right? I think income is one of the most important variables when you are doing this analysis. So let's go and see what we can find about income. So let's go to the variable search. So if we click documentation, main survey. On your left, you have variable search. So there are kind of two different ways of doing this. So one will be going through the index terms. So you click index terms, and then you have money and finance as a topic, right? So you click money and finance, and then for the sake of this example, let's say that household income is a better measure of access to goods and services than individual or personal income. So you have here household income aggregates. And then also says, let's assume that people think more using the gross income instead of the income after taxes in order to do, to take decisions. So let's click gross income. And then you can see that we have here 4 variables. And the second one, which is the gross household income month before interview. Obviously, this is a derived variable because it's created from the different sources of income that we have. Another way to reach this information would be if we go back to the main variable search and we just click income. If you just click income, you will see you have more than 700 records. So it will be a lot of time if you kind of go through all of them to see which one might be the one that you need. But remember, we have the filter. So if you click filter, you see how to narrow your search, and you have the index term. So you click first index term, the money and finance, sorry. Yeah, money and finance, and then you can click here to open the different options, and then you have household income aggregates, right? And then you have gross income, right? So you can click gross income, done, and then you get the same result, right? So if you click this one, the one that we mentioned, so you can see that this also have information about additional information about the derived variable. It says that there is a derived income variable section of the user guide. So if you click here, you will find specific information about the income variables. And I will strongly recommend that you go through all this information because it gives you very detailed information on how these variables are created, all the process that the income team does in order to create them. You have here another link about the understand center and its income data, about all the models that are used in order to impute the information when we have missing values, because all in order to create the household aggregates or even the individual aggregates, we impute, or the income team imputes the information for those ones that we have missing values, and you can see the models there. And there is information about the individual, about household, and also about the imputation flags and the top coding. So remember when we talk about the end user license and the special license. So for the end user license, the information is top coded up to £100,000 per year, or the monthly equivalent. If you are interested in using the exact amount, you will need a special license for some variables that are mentioned here. So let's go back. Yeah, the other thing to say is you can see here some statistics about this variable, and you will see negative numbers in the minimum value, which means that given that it is a household income, it includes self-employed respondents. So remember, they can have not all of them have, or some of them might have losses. So that's why we have a negative number there. and then we have the maximum value, the standard deviation, and you have the same information. You can see the information for the rest of them. Uh, so another thing to say is that this maximum value is not top coded, right? So if you compare, so if you have the end user license, if you download the end user license and then you go to this, you check this variable in your data set, and then you do these statistics, you will have a different value because the ones that you downloaded is the one that is top coded. This value is, you know, the let's say that the ones that are not top coded. So this is will be the special license. So in order to compare to and to have the same value, you will need a special license to download the special license. Let's save this variable as well. There are other variables income, right? So you can. I would say that I would recommend first go to the derived income variables user guide, go through it, have a rate, a kind of a comprehensive rate of everything that is there, and then you after that you might you be uh, you have more information in order to decide which variable is better for you to do this. Um, then there is if you want to compare, because in order to compare the income between households of different sizes, it wouldn't be the same if you have a household with one adult than a household with a family of two, like let's say two adults and 3 or 4 children, where only one of the adults work, or another one with both adults working. So maybe you are interested also in a equivalence factor in order to do the income comparable. So we have information about that as well. So if you click variables, and then you probably just type equivalence factor to see what we have. And then you will see that we have this modify OECD equivalence scale. So if you click, you will see that it's just a conversion factor that assign different weights depending if the household is only composed of one adult, or two, or with children and so on. And you can see the information here, and you have more information about this variable. So you can also save this variable. And next, probably you will also want to add information about social cohesion. So let's say that one of that measures could be the number of friends, right? So maybe the well-being will be better if you have more friends, or in some cases will be the opposite. Maybe someone can argue that. Uh, so let's go back to the main survey variable landing page, and then let's see to try to search for this variable about friends. So try the index terms, and friends might be in the family and household index term, right? And then you have this as a second level, and probably family lab, and then you will see that there is friends here. So if you click friends, then you will see that the first one, how many close friends do you have? So maybe this one would be a good variable to include. So you click, you will see that this variable is only present in weight 3, 6, and 9. So this is something to have a think. I think about this, because maybe you want to do, if you're doing cross-sectional analysis, that's fine. Probably you will only be able to do it on weight 9, because this information is up to weight 9. But if you are doing longitude analysis, you will need to decide what to do with those weights that you don't have information. So you might duplicate information that is closest to the weight that you have, or you might do other approaches like interpolation, or maybe the awaiting option or result between the ways that you have information. So that's up to you. We can save that, but then as you can see, we can't see really information about the routine, about what is the question, about who responds to this question, right? So let's see where we can find this. Remember, the variable is close num or close friends, right? So if we go to document, so let's go to the questionnaire first, as it is. Let's go to documentation, and then on the left, main survey, and then you have questionnaires here on your left. If you click questionnaires, then you will see all the questionnaires. Even we already released kind of the questionnaires from way 18, 17, just for you to see what is coming up. But this one was in wave 9. So we have the main survey questionnaire. So let's open the main survey questionnaire. Right, so this is the main survey questionnaire. And if we just search for close friends, let's see if there is something. Yeah. Family close friends. So this is the same variable, and then you will see here the exact question: how many close friends would you say you have? And the routine that is very important. So this question is only asked for those that already said that they have friends, and these friends could be family or could be uh, different as family. So if you respond previously that you don't have friends, so this question won't be asked, right? So let's go back, and then let's go back to the main the variable search you have here, right? And then another variable could be neighborhood cohesion, right? Neighborhood attachment. Maybe if you live in a neighborhood that is, very nice, people very friendly, then your well-being will be better uh, comparing with those that probably live in a neighborhood that is not that, that nice. So we can also use the index terms. So there are probably two ways also to find our variable. The first one would be housing. If you use housing, then you will see neighborhood attachment, right? And then you can click neighborhood attachment, and you have 49 variables, probably too much to do work to do. Then you use the filters. And let's see if key variables are something that we can help us. We click key variables, done. Then you can see here that there are two variables, one that measures the neighborhood social cohesion, and the other one that measures the Buckner's neighborhood cohesion instrument. Now, one of those are in INREST, the other one are for some ways are in INREST, and for some ways are in HHREST, will be the household respondents. So that's also something that you need to think about because all the other variables that we already say are more individual variables, right? So if you are in this case, or you can, or the variables are found in the INREST file, so individual respondents. So if you are choosing a variable related with household respondent, then you also need to be careful about how to deal with this because you only will have one value for all the members of the household if you use that information in combination with the individual respondents. So let's see. Let's say when we want to use this one, you have information about what it is, the sources, what variables they use in order to construct these ones. So let's save them. The other way of reaching the same variable would be political and social attitudes. Probably there is something about social cohesion that is a social attitude. So if we click here and then we click the social values and attitudes, then you will see that there is neighborhood attachment, right? And then you click filter to narrow your search, and then key variables. Then you will find the same ones. So there is two different ways to reach to the same variable. You can see here that we have 11 variables that we already saved to um, the code creator. So now we are going to move to the code creator. So if we click build data file, then you see the code creator. So the code creator is just uh, it's let's say a software or creator of code, right? That gives you a code that you will need to run on your state.do in order to extract that information, those variables, from the datasets that you already downloaded and are already saved in your folders. You are going to be able to see the ones that you chose, the variables that you chose, and then unclick the ones that probably you say, no, I don't want this anymore. You have the opportunity to choose between long format and wide format. Long format will be that you will see the information of the first wave, and then at the bottom of that, the second wave, and so on. So the information will be repeated by personal identifier. Or if you're choosing wide format, so information will be to the right, first, the first wave of information, then the second, the third, and so on. So in the case, I'm gonna use long format. You can write your email here and you will receive the code on your email, or you just click get your code. And here is your code. So you only need to copy the code, right? And then paste it on a do file. And then you need to go through the first bit of information because you need to specify the paths. Where is the information saved? The data sets saved. Where do you want to save the data set that you are creating as well? So have a look through the first bit of information. You will see all the variables. So not the code creator not only include the variables that you already selected, but also include a bunch of variables that we think that are necessary for doing a proper research. For example, all the weights. This is very important, and tomorrow Paul is going to talk about it. Given the complexity of understanding society's study, you will need to use weights in order to in order to to make your analysis in the right way. And you will see in here that the information for the different files. So the code creator goes through every file that the study has, and then selecting the variables that you already chose, include the other variables that we think that are very useful, and then produce a data set with that variables. So you can see here that it says anything below this line shouldn't be changed. So up to here, you can change whatever you want on the top of that, and then just copy that into a stat.do file. The other thing that I want to say is if you go to the documentation main survey on your left, you have the long-term content plan here. And it already mentioned about show you some screenshot about the long-term content plan, but the long-term content plan is here. So you just open it, right? And you can see, the rotating modules. And also this is important. We were looking about relationship between satisfaction and employment. So if we look for satisfaction, we see that we have three entries. The first one will be job satisfaction is not something that we are interested, but then we see that um, we have satisfaction, life satisfaction, which is the module self-completion, and you can see that this module is asked in every way. So that's good. That's something that you can do and use to do longitudinal analysis and will be less complicated. But then here, for example, you can see that these are rotating modules. And for example, something related with employment conditions, particularly the work conditions, are only asked every fourth, every 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, on even waves, starting from wave 4, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. And you will see that we have information up to wave 18. So this is also very useful because you can plan, right? So let's go back. The other thing is about the syntax. Here in the left side of panel information, you have here syntax. If you click syntax, you will see different syntax options. The first one will be the data management syntax files, where you can download information, mainly in this data, but now for some of them it's also in SPSS and R. But also you have the derived variable syntax. This is something that I mentioned before. So you can, for example, GHQ, right? So we have the GHQ derived variable creates these two derived variables, subjective well-being GHQ. So if you open it, you will have the code that our data team uses to create the GHQ variables. So you can use it, but also this is something that I like because you can see the logic to create these derived variables, and you can use the same logic in your own research to create something different, but using the same logic. And you can also learn a little bit of code. That's also always really good. But there is also syntax deposited by users. So that's something also very helpful if you probably in the future, or you might want or create your own syntax code, then you can let us know about it, and then you can post it here, and we credit it to the credit to you. And there is also user-derived datasets that are very useful. For example, these employment histories or employment spells. The only thing to say is that we don't kind of do a follow up on these data sets. So they are just for a specific period of time, and then they are not updated unless the creators update the specific data sets. Yeah, I think with this, it's everything that I wanted to share with you. So I'm gonna stop recording.